Welcome to Mindful Discoveries. In today's video, we're going to explore the life and legacy of one of the most influential figures in the history of science, Galileo Galilei. Often referred to as the father of modern science, Galileo's work laid the groundwork for many scientific principles we take for granted today. From his pioneering use of the telescope to his bold defense of heliocentrism, Galileo's contributions have shaped our understanding of the universe. Let's dive into his fascinating life and lasting impact. Early life and education. Galileo Galilei was born on February 15, 1564, in Pisa, Italy, into a family of musicians and scholars. His father, Vincenzo Galilei, was a well-known musician and music theorist, who instilled in Galileo an appreciation for mathematics and experimentation. At a young age, Galileo was sent to study at the University of Pisa, where he initially pursued a degree in medicine. However, his interest quickly shifted to mathematics and natural philosophy after he attended a lecture on geometry. In 1589, Galileo was appointed to the chair of mathematics at the University of Pisa. During this period, he began to challenge the traditional Aristotelian views of physics that dominated the academic world. One of his early experiments involved dropping spheres of different masses from the Leaning Tower of Pisa to demonstrate that their rate of fall was independent of their mass. This experiment challenged the prevailing Aristotelian belief that heavier objects fall faster than lighter ones. The move to Padua and the telescope. In 1592, Galileo moved to the University of Padua, where he taught mathematics, astronomy, and mechanics for the next 18 years. This period is often regarded as one of the most productive of his career. It was in Padua that Galileo made several important discoveries and inventions, including the thermoscope, a precursor to the modern thermometer, and the geometric and military compass, which was widely used for both military and scientific purposes. However, Galileo's most significant contribution during this time was his improvement of the telescope. Although he did not invent the telescope, Galileo was the first to use it systematically to observe celestial objects. In 1609, he constructed his own telescope, which was far more powerful than any other available at the time. With this new tool, Galileo made several groundbreaking astronomical discoveries. Among his most famous observations were the craters and mountains on the Moon, the four largest moons of Jupiter, now known as the Galilean moons, the phases of Venus, and the rings of Saturn. These discoveries provided strong evidence against the Ptolemaic geocentric model of the universe, which placed Earth at the center of all celestial motion. Instead, Galileo's observations supported the heliocentric model proposed by Nicolaus Copernicus, which argued that the Earth and other planets revolved around the Sun. The conflict with the Church and heliocentrism. Galileo's support for the heliocentric model of the universe brought him into conflict with the Roman Catholic Church. At the time, the Church endorsed the geocentric view, which was based on the teachings of Aristotle and Ptolemy and was seen as consistent with certain interpretations of Scripture. In 1616, the Church formally declared heliocentrism to be formally heretical, and Galileo was warned not to teach or defend the idea. Despite this warning, Galileo continued to write and discuss his findings. In 1632, he published his most famous work, Dialogue Concerning the Two Chief World Systems, in which he presented arguments for both the geocentric and heliocentric models. Although the book was written as a dialogue between three characters, it was clear that Galileo favored the heliocentric model. The book caused an uproar and led to Galileo being summoned to Rome to face the Inquisition. In 1633, Galileo was found vehemently suspect of heresy, and was forced to recant his views. He was sentenced to house arrest for the remainder of his life. Despite this, Galileo continued to work on his scientific theories, including his studies on motion and the principles that would later become known as inertia and relativity. Later years and contributions to physics. While under house arrest, Galileo's health began to decline, but his intellectual curiosity remained undiminished. He continued to write and correspond with other scientists across Europe. During this time, he completed one of his most important works, Two New Sciences, which laid the foundations for classical mechanics. In this book, Galileo discussed his experiments on the motion of objects, the concept of acceleration, and the laws of falling bodies. Galileo's work on the principles of motion challenged the Aristotelian physics that had dominated European thought for centuries. He showed that the speed at which an object falls is not proportional to its weight, but rather that all objects, regardless of their mass, fall at the same rate in the absence of air resistance. This insight was a crucial step towards the formulation of Newton's laws of motion. Galileo's concept of inertia, the idea that an object in motion will remain in motion unless acted upon by an external force, also laid the groundwork for the modern understanding of motion. His work in this area earned him the title, Father of Modern Physics. Galileo's legacy and impact on science. Galileo Galilei passed away on January 8, 1642, in Arstri, near Florence, Italy. His death marked the end of an era, but his ideas continued to influence science for centuries to come. Galileo is often called the father of modern science, because of his pioneering use of the scientific method, which emphasized observation, experimentation, and mathematical analysis. Galileo's contributions to astronomy, physics, and the philosophy of science were revolutionary. His support for the heliocentric model fundamentally changed our understanding of the universe, and his work on motion laid the foundations for the later development of classical mechanics by Isaac Newton. Galileo's approach to scientific inquiry, which combined theory with experimentation, became a model for future generations of scientists. Despite the challenges he faced, including opposition from the church and his eventual house arrest, Galileo remained committed to the pursuit of knowledge. His courage in challenging established beliefs and his dedication to scientific discovery continued to inspire scientists and thinkers around the world. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Galileo Galilei's life and legacy. Galileo's work revolutionized our understanding of the universe and laid the foundations for modern science. His story is a powerful reminder of the importance of curiosity, critical thinking, and the pursuit of truth, even in the face of adversity. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to Mindful Discoveries for more in-depth explorations of the lives and works of history's greatest minds. Let us know in the comments who you'd like us to cover next. Until then, keep questioning, keep exploring, and never stop learning.